Who wants to be our reporter? Zane? Okay, so we don't have our old one. We're kind of starting fresh with this. So if you want to put things up from before, that's totally fine. New ideas obviously are great too. And I hope that you guys have some evidence from our various books from this year.
I have a question. Can we get our own papers back?
Oh yeah, sorry. Pass back. Sorry. Oops. Thanks, Julie. So maybe let's start with people sharing the conclusions that they came to last night that they thought were most maybe interesting or that you feel strongest about.
Well, the papers that I looked at and also mine, I noticed that people were saying that people who intentionally hurt other people are considered bad people.
So, usually people that hurt people are bad. People that
Intentionally.
You're saying that if a police cop shoots a murderer, he's a bad person? Because he intentionally tried to hurt them for what they did.
That's why I think we should add on hurt others intentionally for their own pleasure. Because I was thinking of Sarab when he hurt Asaf intentionally without wanting to protect.
So that sort of takes care of my sweatshop issue last time when we talked about this, right? About how like I might know I'm doing something that's causing someone else pain in another country far away, but I'm not getting any pleasure out of that. So that no longer makes me a bad person.
I thought a bad person would be self-centered.
Why does that make them bad?
Because if they only care about themselves, they wouldn't really care about anyone else or their actions. So that's bad.
I think a bad person seeks revenge.
Was that based on any of the books that we read, or can you think of a character that embodies that idea?
It seems like Asaf was trying to get revenge from his son, so he passed it on to his son to make it feel even worse.
For good, it could be not selfish, but helps others for a good cause.
To expand on what Deania said, I think someone who stands up for others is a good person because I thought of Minerva and Didi and Maria Teresa, how they were fighting for their country.
So he stands up for
someone who puts others before themselves. Like, 'cause I thought of Rufino from The Time of the Butterflies, how he was helping Mate and Minerva and Patria go see their husbands who were in prison, even though he had a family at home, when he could have just stayed home and just let them like wander off on their own. He decided to go home. For good, I thought of compassionate. Also, and like they have to care for others, and I was thinking of how he was Rahim was caring a lot about me, and he was compassionate, and he actually cared with how we was feeling instead of like thought he didn't really know.
For good, I thought someone who puts in effort.
What do you mean by that? Because we could put an effort in a murder case.
Like, well, I had the example of in The Time of the Butterflies when the sisters made like they put in their effort to join in the resistance. So I don't know.
So never giving up on something else, right?
Yeah.
But didn't Hitler think that it was right to rid the world of this awful race that was polluting society? And he never quit working on that, and he thought that was the right thing.
For a good person, well, we could say that, no, we don't say it right.
What if we say puts in effort for good causes? Does that work, or does
I
anyone
don't
have
think
to?
that works because we can't use the word we're defining the definition.
What's the definition of good?
That can be very much debated because it depends on what you feel like it's good, so it's like an eternal opinion.
And what's your opinion on good?
I don't know.
Well, when you think of good, what comes to mind?
These are all my questions.
Oh, definition of good possibly a selfless act. No, no. What do you think?
Good.
Wait, Erin, in your paper, you have the definition of good. Can you read it as it is?
Yeah. The definition of bad was not good, and the definition of good is having proper qualities.
And I think right now that's what we're doing, we're naming the proper qualities.
So like these are some, well, I was thinking that these are the definitions of, in your minds, of what's good. And that's like a definition in your minds of what's bad.
For someone who's bad, I thought of someone who takes no remorse in their sins. Like, no remorse for things they've done badly.
So remorse or
Who doesn't feel remorse.
Do you mean like they don't?
They don't regret it.
I found the definition pretty good. Well, there's a lot of definitions, but here's one. It says suitable to a purpose, effective, efficient. Those are one of the definitions.
Read that again?
Suitable to a purpose, effective, efficient. Those are some.
suitable
more of a definition of good is if you're good at like a skill or something, or a lot more philosophy.
Why don't we put that up there, what it was, read it again,
Suitable to a purpose.
like maybe another color, because it's not really our opinion, but what the dictionary says.
Do you want me to also suggest that?
Hmm?
Do you want me to also suggest that?
Do you guys want to?
Yeah, can you just say it again? I'm sorry.
Suitable to a purpose.
Thank you.
What else was it?
Effective, efficient. I found that. It says not good, not as it should be, defective in quality, below standard, lacking in worth, inadequate.
Read it again.
Not good, not as it should be, defective in quality, below standard, lacking in worth, inadequate.
Do any words stand out to you from that definition? This.
Inadequate.
Inadequate. I think defective is an interesting word for bad. Can a person be defective?
I think it's rude to call someone defective. I think you could say mentally unstable.
I think a good person should have respect for others.
But the Nazis have a stuff in there. So is that like still good?
I mean, it's still good, but it's wrong in what they're doing. That reminds me of Danielle's paper. She had said that, I can't remember what it said, but it said that people aren't what are bad or good, it's like their acts. So I think
What Luz just said that makes me think that Baba is a bad person because he didn't have respect for Amir when Amir was young.
And he developed that respect later.
But I think it was too late because Amir was already an adult.
Wasn't better too late than never?
Why would you say that?
Oh, yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, why did you say, so when you said it's better late than never, and you said no? Yeah. What, how, like,
Because of Amir, you're the Marte and Baba just gives them for free.
So why did you say better? What did you say? You said something on never.
It's better to relate on others.
Why do you say that?
Because me, Bob realized that it was finally time he should give respect. And then being a hypocrite and just leaving some mentally weak.
Why would you give a child respect?
I think you have to earn respect. It's something you earn, especially if you're a child to an adult. That's, you need to work for the respect. Like, you can't just gain it.
So I've noticed two people recall something interesting that they read in someone else's reflection that that person had not yet shared with the group. Is there anything else that people noticed in other people's reflections that you think is really valuable that other people should hear?
I read Diego's paper, he had something really good about nights.
Well, I wrote about the scene where I think they were in a train, and well, everybody was fighting for like food or space, but I mean, well, I was discussing like it wouldn't be actually bad for them to be fighting over there because it was a way for survival. So I mean, I'll say that was an excuse for them to fight or try to do anything they could to survive.
So does that mean that any action, because Daniela wrote about how a person is judged by their actions, right? Then does every action have to be looked at in the context of the environment that they're in? Do you know what I'm saying? Like you can't just judge an action that a person takes, but you have to look at the context that they're in. Because that makes me think of the book that Ms. Schneider is reading right now. That's on her desk, the bookmark that I moved was in that book. Which I think I told you guys about. It's The Reader. And it's about prison guards. I can't remember what camp they're in. But it's one prison guard in particular who works in a concentration camp as a guard. But she's really poor and needs a job. And this is the job that she gets. She is illiterate, she can't read. She doesn't really have a lot of options. And so this is the job that she gets. She's working in a concentration camp as a guard. So can we, how does that, I don't know, that's the idea that I'm putting out there. Like, do we judge that action? She worked for the Nazis, she's helping them. Or do we look at it in context?
So what you're asking, so is it kind of like, don't judge a book by its cover until you have the pages? Because that's how I'm thinking of it. Since you're saying do not judge the cover.
Yeah, I agree with not judging the book by the cover. I think you have to look at it further into context and the motives behind that action. Like, because with the lady, obviously she doesn't really have much choice. That she needs the money to survive. So she's not doing it for like, I support the Nazis, I want to go like harm the Jews. She wasn't thinking in that term. She was thinking, I just need money to survive. So that was really her one way to go.
Well, she wouldn't be a bad person because, like the first point says, people hurt others intentionally for pleasure. She's doing it to capture or hurt the Jews, but she's doing it for money.
So wouldn't that be bad because then she would be more selfish? think in terms of getting money, it'd be in a non-selfish way, where it's to live off of, not because you're greedy and just want more money.
I kind of feel like when, in like situations, like survival, you can't determine whether something, there is no good and bad when someone's trying to survive. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay, you have to repeat that.
Like, the lady, she needs a job for money, because money buys everything, so that's basically her trying to survive. So I don't think you can say if something's good or bad when the situation is survival.
Why doesn't it affect survival?
Yeah, like, okay, so she needs money to buy food, like that's life or death, so if she does something bad or bad, like, I don't think it would be,
So what if you have to kill a person to get money? Would you do it for survival? I think that's one of the ways.
like if you're gonna die or something, then probably. Me, I wouldn't, it's like, I'm trying to do it.
I remember something my teacher used to tell me when we had to discuss good or bad, where we were wondering if a person who is bad, say if they were forced to be put into that situation, like if you're a hostage in a bank and they're forcing you to go, like she put it in these terms, where say bank robber had, sometimes they have hostages that put the bombs around their chest to make them go into the bank in order for the guys to give them money. If they agree to go in, are they the bad person in the situation? That's actually what I was asking.
Wait, so if the hostage has
So if, basically what she would say is that, say the robbers went up to you, they forced you to wear the bomb on your chest and go in and rob the bank. Like they're basically threatening your life to do something bad. Would you technically be bad since you're doing that bad thing? Destination.
I think you know, because either way, if you say no, they'll kill you, and if you say yes, you'll probably die because you still have a bomb, and it'll be kind of hard to take it off. So it doesn't mean that you're good or bad. It just means that you have no choice. You could either you will probably die. That's why.
But what's the difference between Angelica's scenario and the scenario in the reader in that book? What's the bad thing that's getting done in your scenario?
The robbery?
A robbery. So what does that mean? Who's hurt and in what way?
The people financially,
Mm-hmm.
and the people who are in the bank.
They're scared, they're shaken up, they lose money, okay? And in the other scenario, the consequence?
Well, people are being killed because she's working in a concentration camp.
So does that make a difference? Are those people to be judged in the same way because they're doing something, they really don't have another option in the situation, and that's why they're doing it? Or do we judge those people differently?
Well, the lady does have the option to starve to death, so she doesn't have to kill others to survive. But I guess if her life is really important, then she has to work in a concentration camp. Whereas in her story, the person had no choice unless they wanted to die too.
Well, didn't the lady in the story, did she have kids? Did she have family?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, because she's most likely having jobs as art for her children. And who knows if she didn't have children, maybe her opinion was she put her children first, so she had to get a job, any type of job, to provide food for her children.
I don't think that's fair though, because if the people she's killing have family too, wouldn't that matter?
Well, by then they don't know if their family's alive or not.
What if they know their family's alive?
Well, who knows? Because, like with Eli, with Eddie, his dad died because of disease. Well, he was old as well, but one of the families might also have died of disease, not by actually getting murdered. If you get what I'm saying.
I mean, are you saying that Ellie's father's death didn't have anything to do with murder or anything else?
No, so she's saying that, does it, I just remind myself. So I was saying that she put the lady in the store, she put her children before herself. So she tried to get any job, which was in this case the guard, to provide food for them. And then she said, what did you say?
Maybe that's the people she's killing also have family.
But, and I said, we don't know, well, they probably might not know because in the concentration camps they were divided in categories. And then if they did know, either way, they could have also have died in a way that's disease. Because there was a lot of disease of famine and people were throwing up blood, followed to
Okay,
die.
I'm confused. Okay, you said that the people in the concentration camp that have family might have families too.
Well,
Why? Well,
they do have families.
well,
they-
yeah, but why did you say that?
Because she said, that the guard did have a right because she put her family before herself.
What if you, what if you take the character on that? Wouldn't it still be like one against like a million or billion? Like, it's Hitler trying to control these people, and here he has followers, and those followers, even if Hitler is taken out, probably still have the same mentality of like not seeing those people as equal, but like being racist and racist. I can't say that word, but being racist against them and like treating them wrong, even if Hitler's not there, even if this guard's not there, probably there's the same thing is still gonna happen, but it could lead. I think I got confused. I'm confused. I'm getting confused.
Anybody else, Jara? I think I know what you're saying, but can anybody else? I feel like what you're saying is that if she chooses not to do what she's doing, somebody else is going to do it anyway. So it's like her against, like her choosing not to be involved in the concentration camps isn't really going to affect any change. Because it's, you said one against like millions, right? Is that what you meant? But then is it okay to do because everybody else is doing it and what you choose won't make a difference?
Wait, can you repeat that question?
So Jara was saying that whether or not this woman, what's her name? Do you remember? It's okay, we don't need to know the name.
I know.
We'll just call her the woman. That if she chooses not to work in a concentration camp, the concentration camp will continue to run.
Yeah.
Anna. If Anna chooses not to work in Hannah, then the camp will still run, people are still going to get killed. Because just her choosing not to work there doesn't really make a difference. So then it's okay to do.
It's okay to be a guard? Is that what you're asking?
Because whether or not she's a guard isn't going to stop the camps or let them keep running.
We don't have to have that generalization.
I would rather stay with you guys as well. Yeah. Okay, feedback for the group?
I think it was so quiet just because in here we talked about it before, and then I think we like forgot about what we were saying, and then
But what if it, like, we were getting information from the books that we have read and from a story that we have never heard until now, think of those people.
And this topic is like hard to decide what's a good person, what's bad, so.
And there's all the controversy between each thing, that this may be good in this situation, but in another situation it's not.
Any other feedback for the whole group? Can I hear a couple specific shout outs of people who did really well today?
I feel like Alessandra was like doing really, really well because she just like, whenever she was confused, she would just like ask like clarifying questions and she would push everyone else's thinking too. I think Madison was saying that because even though she was taking down the notes, she still participated a lot and was engaged in the conversation.
Okay, really good. I would add also, I loved the textual evidence from the books, that people jumped right into like finding evidence to support an idea or contradict an idea from one of the books that we read. And I already said this during the discussion, but I really was impressed with people who said, well, actually, I read this in somebody else's reflection and it was really interesting or important. The point of doing a reflection was so that everybody would be like ready to jump in. So I feel like I'm gonna be kind of sad when I read your reflections and I see ideas that didn't come to the table because you didn't bring them up. But I'm glad that people shared other people's ideas to get those ideas in the mix, if that makes sense. Okay, so it's Friday, sort of, not really, but it's our Friday, because we don't have class tomorrow. So take 2 minutes to fill this out, and then we'll meet with our partners.
Can I turn this off?